Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak. We're continuing the series once more on going through the Tafsir of Ibn Juzay, Rahimahullah Ta'ala. Um, and we, we're still going on with Surah Naba, going through Juz Amma. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We'll do 3 Fatihas. The first Fatiha we'll send on our beloved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the second for the Sahaba and all of the Tabi'in and scholars who have brought this tradition, this religion, and preserved it by the will of Allah Ta'ala. May Allah be pleased with them all. And the third one for the author of this book, or going over, or for your family and loved ones, for yourself, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد best of creation وعلى آله الطاهرين والطيبين and his purified and طيب family. So, without further ado, we're starting back up from ayah 21. Okay. So I'll read a few ayat and get the translation on the authority of Sahih International. And then we'll move back to the tafsir. إن جهنم كانت مرصادا للطاغين مآبا لابثين فيها أحقابا. So we say, indeed hell has been lying in wait. 21. For the transgressors, a place of return. 22. In which they will remain for ages unending. 23. So we have an interesting discussion here. قال المصنف رحمه الله تعالى ونفعني بعلومه في دارين آمين. So the author here, Ibn Juzay, may Allah be pleased with him, have mercy on him, and may we benefit from his knowledge in this world and the next. speaking about mirsad, or lying in wait. He says, أي موضيع, or موضيع المرصاد والرصد هو الارتقاب والانتظار. أي تنتظر أو تنتظر الكفار ليدخلوها. وقيل معناه طريقا للمؤمنين يمرون عليه إلى الجنة لأن الصراط منصوب على جهنم. So when we say lying in wait, or mirsad is the root here, or the word mim ra sad alif dal, and so it comes from rust, which is ra sad dal, and he's saying it's irtiqab and intidar, sort of like watching and waiting and awaiting. Numan Ali Khan puts an image of like a cheetah waiting to pounce on the prey, and this is the reality of Jahannam. And so then some say that the Jahannam is lying and waiting to pounce on the kuffar, to enter it so that they enter. May Allah protect us from that fate. Or it says that the Jahannam is lying in wait for, or the hellfire is lying in wait for the believers as they cross the Sirat al-Mustaqim, which they say is built upon the Jahannam. If you haven't heard such narrations and stories where they say, when we say in the Fatiha, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim, one of the meanings they say is to guide us towards a physical sirat upon which the believer must cross in order to make it into paradise, and the hellfire is lying underneath, waiting to grab at whoever is not successful. Ma'aba ay marji'an. So, place of return, I suppose. Sahih International Translation suffices there. لابثين فيها أحقابا. أحقابا, we say. Jem حقبة أو حقبة or حقب. وهي المدة الطويلة من الدهر غير محدودة. So we're saying the حقب, or the حقابة, the singular, the plural we're saying is أحقاب. That the singular حقب or حقابة is a length of time that's really long, that's like infinity and has no limit. One opinion on what a singular of the ahqab of the plural. So they're saying they'll be lying in there in multiple units of infinity. One meaning. وقيل, and they also say إنها محدودة. So it is limited, it is bound. ثم اختلاف في مقدارها. So then there's a disagreement if it is bound, how long each hukab is, that they're going to be in there for many ahqab. And they say فراوية عن النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم أنها 80,000 سنة. So in a narration they have from Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, they say each individual hukba or hikaba is 80,000 years. It's a multiple of this. وقال ابن عباس 30 سنة. So Ibn Abbas says, 30 years is each hukab. وقيل 300 سنة. And so then there's another opinion that it's 300 years. وعلى قول بالتحديد فالمعنى أنهم يبقون فيها أحقابا كلما انقضى الحقب جاء آخر إلى غير نهاية وقيل إنه كان يقضى. Okay, so they're saying here, if you're taking the opinion that it does have it is a time bound, each of these haqbas, hiqabat, or ahqab actually, each of these ahqab, then they're saying that when one of those time periods passes, then another one comes. So if we say it's 80,000 years, you're going to get 80,000 years of punishment. You have one hukab, then comes another one, 80,000 more years, and another 80,000 more years. Or in units of 300 years or units of 30 years. Just many, unendingly. وقيل إنه كان يقتضي أن مدة العذاب تنقضي ثم نسخ بقوله فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا. So some say that the punishment, when it passes, it's done, but then that gets abrogated by the later ayah that we'll get to in a few ayat. فَذُوقُوا فَلَن نَزِيدُكُمْ إِلَّا عَذَابًا, which is so taste this, because we will not increase you in anything except punishment. So they're saying, in that ayah, it was meaning that there was going to be an end to it. And then that ayah came and it was like, no, you know what? No. It's unending. وهذا خطاب لأن الأخبار لا تنسخ. So they say, or تنسخ. They say, but this is just like a saying, it's just a phrase, because the akhbar do not get abrogated. It's not like a hukam, it's not like a legal ruling, so it can't get abrogated. This is a akhbar. It's like a report of something that's going to happen that doesn't like get abrogated. وقيل هي في عصاة المؤمنين الذين يخرجون من النار. So they say this is actually about the believers who committing sins and they're going to face punishment for them. Allah protect us from this and be merciful for us, upon us. Saying that they would be in the punishment for periods of time that are limited and then be taken out. وهذا خطأ لأنها في الكفار لقوله وكذبوا بآياتنا. So this here he's saying this is wrong, incorrect, because this is talking to the kuffar, disbelievers, because in the later ayah وكذبوا بآياتنا وكذبوا بآياتنا, and by definition the mu'min does not deny or make lies upon the signs of Allah. وقيل معناها أنهم يبقون أحيانا لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا ثم يبدل لهم نوع آخر من العذاب. And so some say they'll stay there for a limited period of time, not getting drink or respite or coolness, and then they're just going to be switched to another form of punishment. Alhamdulillah, a lot of things. May Allah protect us from this. It's just terrible punishment. SubhanAllah. لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا. Oh yeah, I guess I'll just read this next few sections. لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا إلا حميما وغساقا جزاء وفاقا إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابا وكل شيء أحصيناه كتابا فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا. So, صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم. So we say, they will not taste therein any coolness or drink, except scalding water and foul purulence, and appropriate recompense. Indeed, they were not expecting an account, and denied our verses with emphatic denial. But all things we have enumerated in writing. So taste the penalty, and we will never increase you except in torment. Okay. So when we say لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا, أي لا يذوقون برودة تخف تخفف تخفف عنهم أو تخفف عنهم حر النار. حر النار. Yeah. وقيل لا يذوقون ماء باردا وقيل البرد أو البرد هنا النوم أو أولى الهر. So they say about the لا يذوقون فيها بردا. So first he says they're not going to feel any like moment to relax and get a break. There'll be no break in the sense from the heat of the fire. And also they say, the more literal, they're not going to taste any cool water. And then thirdly, they say they're not going to get any sleep. They're saying the word here is sleep. But he says the first is most apparent, most clear. إلا حميما وغساقا. استثناء من الشراب وهو متصل، والحميم الماء حار، وغساق صديد أهل النار. وقد ذكروا في سورة داود. So he says, إلا حميما وغساقا. In English it was like, so they will not get any coolness or drink except the hamim and the ghasaq or ghasaq, depending on the recitation. So they're saying this is he's making an exception on what drinks they're going to have. Yeah. And it's connected. Oh, yeah. Right. Because we have the hamim, and so they're saying that's hot water or boiling water. Scalding water, I think the translation said. Or ghasaq is the pus of the people of the hellfire. So it's the only things they'll be able to drink. And he spoke about it earlier in what he calls Surah Dawood or Surah Sa'd. Let's see about that conversation. What do we have going on there? So he says, some say that it's not the pus, but the things that come out of their eyes. And some say the ghasaq is actually a punishment that no one knows except Allah. SubhanAllah. جزاء وفاقا أي موافقا أعمالهم لأن أعمالهم كفر وجزاؤهم النار. So they're saying, the recompense is in agreement or appropriate for their actions or their deeds, أعمالهم, because their actions were kufr, denial, disbelief, rejection, ungratefulness. Many translations there. Heedlessness, levels go on. May Allah protect us. And so their recompense is the fire. There's a grammar note there. إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا. هذا مثل لا يرجون لقائنا وقد ذكر. So this Sahih International translates this as, indeed they were not expecting an account. Yeah, that's one of the meanings. It's good. So let's see. He has a discussion earlier in Surah Furqan. Consider where, let's see. Aha. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Surah Yunus as well. Okay. There we go. So you say, and here there's an ayah, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَائِنَا. So it's like the meeting. They were not yarjuna is a discussion what yarjuna means, but expecting and looking forward to meeting with us. So قِيلَ مَعْنَى يَرْجُونَ هُنَا يُخَافُونَ. So here they're saying they weren't afraid of it. They weren't afraid of the meeting. That's what they mean by yarjuna. وَقِيلَ لَا يَرْجُونَ حُسْنَ لِقَائِنَا. فالرجاء على أصله. And so that one is saying they weren't looking forward to the goodness of meeting with us. Because the asl of yarjuna is raja, which is like raja, hoping, looking forward to something, hopefully. Anticipation in a good way. And, because they say, the believer is hopeful for and hoping in the mercy of Allah and the pleasures of paradise and mercy and forgiveness. We're hopeful for these things. So they're saying this is for the people who are not like that. وَقِيلَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لا يتوقعون أصلا ولا يخطر ببالهم يخطر ببالهم. So this is like what the Sahih International goes with. They didn't expect it to happen. Like they didn't think it was going to happen. So they're not like worried or concerned about themselves. And on the Surah Furqan, he says, قيل معناه لا يخافون والصحيح أنه على بابه لأن لقاء الله يرجو ويخاف. So, and this he says the most correct opinion is that it's like an in between because, or it mentions part of it because the believer is both hopeful in the mercy of Allah and entering Jannah and paradise and the mercy and the forgiveness, but we also fear the accounting and we know what the bad deeds we did and that for any one of them we could be taken into account for. So we're in between those two things. Okay. كذابة. So here in here we say وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابة, and denied our verses with emphatic denial. And so in some readings or recensions or recitations, instead of كذابة with the shadda, it's كذابة without the shadda. كذابة. And so he mentions here رحمه الله تعالى بالتشديد مصدر بمعنى التكذيب وبالتخفيف بمعنى الكذب أو مكاذبة وهي تكذيب بعضهم لبعض. So they're just saying, because takdhib is like calling someone else a liar, and then kadhib is like saying a lie. So it's sort of that subtlety about which one they're saying that they're doing. And he's saying it's takdhib ba'duhum li ba'd. So they're each calling themselves a liar. SubhanAllah. فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم ما نزل في أهل النار أشد من هذه الآية. So nothing has come down on the people of the fire of Jahannam, Ahl an-Nar, that is more strong, more vicious, more powerful than this ayah. This is a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, narrated in Tabari through Abdullah bin Umar. And in English here they have, so taste the penalty and never will we increase you except in torment. This is a good ayah that if you're reading, you can cry on it. If you're reciting it out loud or to yourself, it's the one you want to get emotional on. Okay, next part. إن للمتقين مفازا حدائق وأعنابا وكواعب أترابا وكأسا دهاقا لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم. So مفازة أي موضوع فوز يعني الجنة. So, English. Indeed, for the righteous is attainment. And so here he's saying the attainment is Jannah, paradise, the gardens. And it goes on in English, gardens and grapevines, and full-breasted companions of equal age, and a full cup. No ill speech will they hear therein, or any falsehood. As a reward from your Lord, a generous gift made due by account. From the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and whatever is between them, the most merciful, they possess not from him authority for speech. The day that the Spirit and the angels will stand in rows, they will not speak except for one whom the most merciful permits, and he will say what is correct. That is the true day, so he who wills make to his Lord a way of return. So here we're saying that the foes, the attainment is paradise, Jannah. Another good one to cry out. So then it says next, حدائق وأعنابا. So the حدائق, he says, Busatin or basatin. So gardens, orchards, gardens. Yeah. وكواعب أترابا. So he's saying here the kawaib is the gem of ka'ib, which is the jariya or the young maiden girl or woman who التي خرجه تديها. Oh yeah, ثديها. So yeah, just full breast, bulging of the breasts. أترابا, meaning here that they all have the same age, of equal age. Then وكأس دهاقا, here we have a full cup, and yes, a ملأ وقيل صفية والأولى أشهر. So some people say instead of a full cup it's a clear cup, but the full cup is a more famous or known meaning. And then skipping forward to جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا, as a reward from your Lord, a generous gift made due by account. So one of the, say a كافيا من أحسب شيء إذا كفاه. So linguistically, if someone is أحسب شيء, like someone keeps giving it to you until you say enough, thank you, like I'm good. Like you go over to eat dinner at a friend's house, your grandma's house even, and she's just serving food on your plate, and more and more. No, thank you, no, and they keep going, no, thank you. So they're saying that is the amount they will be given on the day of judgment. Inshallah, if we're amongst the believers, the muttaqeen, the mu'mineen. May Allah make us amongst them. I mean, may Allah let us be righteous in our niyyah, make it towards Him, Ya Allah. So that's the first opinion. The second, وقيل معناه على حسب أعمالهم, which is what a Sahih International has here, that sort of the reward you'll be getting will be based on the accounting of your deeds. So like the more good you'll do, the more good you'll be getting. So both meanings are there. رب السماوات or رب السماوات. There's a discussion here because in some of the recitations it's not رب السماوات والأرض, it's رب السماوات والأرض. And so they're saying if it's the way we do it in Hafs and Asim with the Kasra, then it's Sifa from the Rabbika in the previous ayah. It's continuing. Like as a reward from your Lord who's Lord of the heavens, and this and this and this. Whereas they're saying if it's with Dhamma, Rabbu Samawati, Bainahum ar-Rahmanu, then it's actually starting like a new sentence. Kind of like, Lord of the heavens and the earth is Rahman, is ar-Rahman, kind of stuff like that. Yeah. Then لا يملكون منه خطابا, and they possess not from him authority for speech. So the discussion here, قال ابن عطية الضمير للكفار أي لا يملكون أن يخاطبوه بمقدرة ولا غيرها. So they're saying this is talking about they do not possess from any authority of speech. It's about the kuffar, or the disbelievers, and that they don't have any authority to speak to Allah by their own will. I guess, yeah, they don't have any authority. وقيل المعنى لا يقدرون أن يخاطبهم كقوله لا يكلمهم الله. So they're saying, or the meaning is that they will not make Allah talk to them. like Allah mentions also in the Quran, لا يكلمهم الله, like Allah will not speak to them. وقال الزمخشري الضمير لجميع الخلق أي ليس بأيديهم شيء من خطاب الله. So Zamakhshari says that they not possess from it any authority of speech is all of creation, because in their hands there is nothing from the khitab of Allah, or the speech of Allah. I'm not sure necessarily how to translate that per se, or the meanings behind that. يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا. So, يوم يقوم الروح, which Sahih International says, the day that the Spirit and the angels will stand. So the discussion here is قيل هو جبريل. The ruh, the spirit here, they're saying it's Angel Jibril alayhi salam, Gabriel. وقيل ملك عظيم يكون هو وحده صفا والملائكة صفا. So they're saying, or they're saying that the spirit here is just a different angel. It's Adim, a different majestic, awesome, powerful angel in one row, and then the other angels in the second row. وقيل يعني أرواح بني آدم فهو اسم الجنس. So then they're saying the ruh actually is like the spirit. They mean like all the spirits of the children of Adam are going to be lined up, and then also the angels. Which is a pretty cool idea. kind of like grammatically, because like say like I don't eat bread, and bread's like a singular, but you mean like all bread in the category of bread, but you use a singular bread. So here when they say like the spirit, they mean like all human spirits, but saying the spirit. Yeah, like yeah. Okay. ويوم ويوم يتعلق بلا يملكون أو لا يتكلمون. So we have here يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون. So we're saying on that day is the day where they will not speak, or that day is with the previous ayah where it says they possess not from him authority for speech on that day. Right. لا يتكلمون الضمير الملائكة والروح أي تمنعوهم الهيبة من كلام إلا من بعد أن يأذن الله لهم. So then they're saying لا يتكلمون, right. وقال صواب يكون في ذلك الموطن على هذا. So here they're saying that the angels and the spirit are the ones connected here to the لا يتكلمون. That they're the ones, or the angels and the ruh are the ones who are not speaking. It says they will not speak except for. They're saying that they there is the ruh and the malaika, and that it's from the awesomeness and majesty of kalam, or speech, that prevents them, unless or until after Allah permits them. And the word sawab here is the source of this. this opinion. I'm not sure necessarily on precisely what he's saying here, just to be honest. Yeah. وقيل الضمير للناس خاصة وصواب المشار أو مشار إليه قول لا إله إلا الله أي من قالها في الدنيا. So they're saying they will not speak except for the one who the most merciful permits, and he will say what is correct. And it's interesting here because the English says he will say, but waqala is like and he said, like past tense. So in this, let's say some people say that they will not speak except for the one. They will not speak. They say it's the human beings specifically, and that the sawaba is an indicator towards basically like except for the one who the most permits, and he said what was correct, and that was that in this life, in this worldly life, they said La ilaha illallah. They pronounced Tawheed on their tongues. That will be the ones who will be led to speak on that day. ذلك اليوم الحق أي الحق وجوده ووقوعه. So that is the true day, meaning that is the day that exists and will occur. فمن شاء, so he who wills, make to his Lord a way of return. So that's sort of a تخصيص وترغيب, specification, is, you know, putting a conditional statement on there, being specific about who we're talking about. عذابا قريبا. Okay, so that one, the last side. إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا. Indeed, we have warned you of a near punishment on the day when a man will observe what his hands have put forth, and this disbeliever will say, "Oh, I wish that I were dust." So, عذابا قريبا, which here translates as near punishment. يعني عذاب الآخرة ووصفه بالقرب لأن كل آت قريب أو لأن الدنيا على آخرها. So they're saying that these, you know, the near punishment is the punishment of the afterlife, and that it's being described with nearness, being close, because everything that comes in, everything that's coming is close, basically. Anything that's like about to come, it's close. Or because this world is near the end of its existence. So it's just letting us know. يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه, which English here we say. The day when a man will observe what his hands have put forth. So المرء هنا عموم في المؤمن والكفار. وقيل هو المؤمن وقيل هو الكفار, والعموم أحسن لأن كل أحد يرى ما أعمل لقوله تعالى فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة يرى. So they're saying the man here, or a man or the man, is general for both the believers and the disbelievers. Some say it's just the believers, some say it's just the disbelievers, but the general meaning is better. Because everyone is going to see their deeds, what they've done, their actions, the consequence of their actions, I guess you could say. According to Allah's own words in Surah Al-Zalzala, فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة يره. Let me have to just check the wording on it. Okay. فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. So whoever does like an equivalent of a seed of good, they will see it. And whoever does the equivalent of a seed of bad, they will see it. So given that, you know, we're going to take the more general meaning here in this ayah, this surah. ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا. And the disbeliever will say, oh, I wish that I were dust. So يتمنى أن يكون يوم القيامة ترابا فلا يحاسب ولا يجازى. Maybe يجازى. So they're saying here that the kuffar disbeliever will say, the kafir will say on the day of judgment that he wished he was dust, because then he would not be taken into account and he will not be recompensed, knowing that his recompense will be not a good one. وقيل تمنى أن يكون في الدنيا ترابا أي لم يخلق. So, oh, maybe يخلق. Interesting. But they're saying that he meant that he wasn't dust in this world, in the dunya, as meaning that he wishes he was never created at all, actually. So, وروي أن البهائم تحشر ليقتص لبعضهم من بعض ثم ترد ترابا. And so it's been narrated that on the day of judgment, before, I guess I'll, okay, so here he's saying, it's narrated the beasts will be gathered and they'll kind of have their own like recompensation between them, and then after that they'll be turned to dust. فَتَمَنَّى الْكُفَّارُ أَنْ يَكُونَ تُرَابًا مِثْلَهَا. So they're going to say, I wish I was dust like that. And, you know, I've heard, you know, there are stories, let's say. It's better not to bring it, but yeah. There are narrations about the beasts having their own mini uh, recompensation before the humans do their recompensation. And and there was wording like, you know, the ram who didn't have horns and the ram who did have horns, like it'll be settled between them. Because assuming the one with horns oppressed and abused the one that didn't have horns. And then they'll be turned to dust. And so the kuffar will be like, oh my gosh. Stuff. Okay. Yeah, Allah. Yeah. So وهذا قوي الأولى وقيل الكفار هنا إبليس يتمنى أن يكون خلق من تراب مثل آدم وذرياته لما رأى ثوابهم وقد كان احتقار التراب في قوله خلقته من نار وخلقته من طين. 1 second. Okay. So he's saying this about the wishing he was dust. Uh, this narration about wishing he was dust after seeing what happens to the beast strengthens the first opinion about wishing they were dust in that moment in the day of judgment, so they could not get accounted for and not get a recompense. And then he mentions the kuffar here is actually Iblis, and that he wishes he was made from dirt, turab, after seeing, like Adam and his offspring, after seeing their rewards, and that he belittled, the dirt and his words. And that appears Surah A'raf, خلقتني من نار وخلقته وخلقت whoa yeah خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. You made me from fire, you made him from clay. And that was the reason and justification he gave for why he didn't prostrate when ordered to. And sort of coming, this opinion about coming full circle of now wishing that he was actually made of the dirt. So, Jazakallah khairan for being with us. We'll continue inshallah in the coming days. Bidnillah ta'ala. We ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the most pure of prayers and blessings and elevation to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his blessed family and all the scholars that have preserved this religion and brought it to us. And we hope that we're able to go close to Allah, spiritually turning our hearts towards Him, grow close to His beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his example, draw close to his word in the Quran, because the Quran is our source of guidance for all things and all matters. We hope that, we pray that Allah bring us closer to our families in these times, in this holy month of Ramadan. Let us achieve the most that we can out of this Ramadan, and get and earn, or can't say earn, but work in hopes that Allah will favor us with blessings and with emancipation from the fire and entrance into Jannah and the gardens of paradise. Ameen. Subhanallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala amma yasifun, wa salamu ala al-mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.